So Vigilantes, with Arrow returning back next week, we've got an extended trailer just like how the CW gave The Flash an extended trailer. So let's watch this trailer and break down all of the details you may have missed, or just stuff you kind of should pay attention to. You know how it goes. What is up, Vigilantes? Welcome to an Arrow video. So this, I'm pretty sure, is my first Arrow video of 2019, and that is because, well, the shows have been on break. There's been a bit of Flash stuff because that was coming back sooner than Arrow, obviously. I don't think Arrow's coming back till, next week, January 21st. So I have been waiting for this extended trailer, and lo and behold, here it is. So this episode is now called My Name is Emiko Queen, and for the longest time, a lot of people, you know, with the speculation of Emiko, or the copycat Green Arrow, if you will, not everybody saw that Spoiler TV, if I remember correctly, actually leaked that episode title beforehand. Then it got changed to Shattered Lives, and now, lo and behold, it's back to My Name is Emiko Queen. So that is how, if people kept an eagle eye on Arrow, like myself and a lot of other people, knew who that copycat Green Arrow kind of was, you know, even amongst all the suggestions that it could be Thea or future Roy, well, William going back in time, and you know what I mean. It was kind of spoiled for us quite a while ago, but here we go. They've retitled it back to the original title, My Name is Emiko Queen, which is a badass title, but I am blabbing on now. Let's have a look at this extended trailer, and then I'll go over the synopsis, and then all of the stuff we have to look forward to with the back half of the season.
I'd like to take this opportunity to assure the people of Star City that I have learned from my mistakes. My mission has always been serve the city.
Some husbands bring their wives home flowers, but mine brings me blood from a crime scene.
There are people who don't agree with my methods.
But you can't save the city alone.
And I will no longer be hiding in the shadows.
We're fighting evil that most people don't even know exists. No.
What the hell are you doing?
Just a little something I've been working on.
And I promise to always be on the side of the law.
Arrow returns with an all-new episode this Monday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
So that was a pretty cool extended trailer. I've been waiting for something like that, something tangible we can talk about with Arrow other than just a synopsis. But talking of synopsises, and there I go again with that word, let's read out the synopsis for, well, I was about to say Shattered Lives, but now My Name is Emiko Queen, and that goes as follows. Oliver returns to his regular life in Star City. So Oliver is ready to get back to work with the SCPD and to focus on his marriage with Felicity. However, when Dinah tasks Oliver with tracking the new Green Arrow, things take a surprising turn. Meanwhile, Diggle and Lila must answer to Argus about Diaz. So to be honest, I am really hyped for this episode. You may have heard me talk briefly before about now Oliver is a public Green Arrow cop. I don't know how that sits with me properly. I think it's cool. I'm definitely open to watch it. But, you know, it still feels kind of weird that everyone in Star City knows who he is. I know that's inevitable now. You can't really go back on that and do a Men in Black Flash trick and everyone just forgets it. But still, I just didn't know how I felt with him working with the SCPD department. But this extended trailer really did, pluck up my excitement for it. And now that synopsis, even though we've had it for a little while now, I believe, you know, it just makes me remember things a little bit more because obviously it's been off air for a while. And it's just interesting even reading the last part of that synopsis where Diggle and Lila have to answer to Argus about Diaz. The other exciting part of this synopsis, which I think we do see a little bit of in the trailer, is that he's been tasked to, you know, track down the copycat Green Arrow. And within this trailer, we definitely get hints at that. But I want to go back to the previous trailer for a second. And in that trailer for this episode, we got way back in December, we saw that Oliver, or should I say Dinah, you know, they were at that crime scene and there was blood on the window and it was none other than Emiko Queen's probably. And we saw Felicity was running this DNA pattern thingy recognition thing. And we were all speculating, oh, Will they actually find out who Emiko Queen is sooner rather than later? You know, there was the whole factor of, would they really test it against Oliver's DNA? What's the point of that? Or would it match Oliver's DNA just in the database? I have no idea. That is stuff we've all got to look forward to. And what I like so much about this trailer is it was presented in just not just a collection of clips. There was that narrative throughout on like the Channel 52 news station thing of Oliver, I guess. And it makes sense. And I think it's really cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this interview. You would have thought with the whole of the city, knowing you're the Green Arrow, the public Green Arrow, or the Green Arrow has been acting as the Green Arrow for years and years. You were their mayor. You're out of prison now. Time to talk about it publicly. So he's just like, I want to assure everybody in Star City that, you know, I've learned from my mistakes. So I guess he's just saying, even though I'm operating as the Green Arrow here, don't worry. You may have seen me do a couple of things before. Maybe that were necessary, like killing Damien Dark, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the Star City citizens agree with. But I guess, you know, just little bits in here and there. It's probably a controversial thing in Star City. Oliver is just trying to reassure people who are on the fence with it that, trust me, I'm only here for Star City's best interest. And right away in the trailer, I believe we do see Oliver working with the SCPD. It seems that they're going in this building, and that person I thought perhaps was Emiko Queen. You saw the Copycat Green Arrow jumping out of that building, but that doesn't look like the Arrow suit. It looks like somebody's wearing jeans and a jacket and a hoodie there, but I feel like at the same time, when you look at this shot, you see someone running and jumping out the window. I think that even though this kind of looks a bit deceiving, and we see SCPD cops with their guns and their torches there, maybe Emiko Queen was after this person. Obviously, what we know in this episode is Dinah has tasked Oliver with finding the Copycat Green Arrow, and he's probably got a couple of cops with him. So that first person we saw in this shot here probably is a victim of Emiko Queen's, who's, you know, as we know, Emiko Queen is going around killing people. Right here we see Emiko Queen jumping out of the window. I believe it's Emiko Queen anyway. And what I'm concluding here is essentially that Oliver and a couple of SCPD cops are busting Emiko Queen, going after some probably low-life criminal. But talking about this probably being Emiko Queen, well, what do we see here? We see this Copycat Green Arrow breaking through this window in not such a stylish way, so you could probably put it down to maybe this is actually the window where the blood is on, as we saw in the other trailer. I trust I'm showing it on screen, and that makes sense, don't you think? So this is probably how, you know, in the next day when, you know, Dinah's there and Oliver's doing this Green Arrow suit, they're like, oh crap, we've actually probably got the best lead we've ever had, so let's get this to Felicity and scan it. And we see, you know, the Copycat Green Arrow, Emiko Queen here, still pursuing this person, you would have to think, with the order of clips. And we see her, you know, get the arrow here, tie him up. So I'm guessing this might be the continuation from what we were just talking about, but it could be an entirely separate occasion as well. But talking about that blood sample, Oliver, we could see him bringing it to Felicity here. She's just like, you know, normally husbands bring home flowers, but you've brought me this. But just from like a really rough observation, you know, things haven't been the best between Oliver and Felicity, but here, you know, they seem to be getting on pretty well, and it does say in the synopsis that he wants to focus on their marriage. So, you know, I do expect things to somewhat go a bit bumpy from here on out, since Felicity is blatantly, especially with the flash forward scenes, meant to be getting a bit darker, but it seems here that maybe they are getting a bit back on track. I think it's going to be neither here nor there, and we're going to have to see how it comes, but maybe things will be a bit more cheerful in this episode rather than a listy drama with, oh, you're changing, oh, you know, Diaz changed me, blah, 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 blah. But other interesting scenes in this extended trailer, and I can't guarantee all of this is from just, you know, the next episode that is coming next week, because the Flash trailer showed, you know, footage of episodes all the way up to the end of January. So I'm just assuming that Arrow is doing the same thing here. But we see clips from Argus of, you know, you could call it the Suicide Squad, but they're not going to be called that just because of, you know, diluting the brand. And, you know, we've got Suicide Squad 2 and everything like that in the DCU. So essentially we've got old characters, very familiar characters returning in a Suicide Squad-esque way in Argus. Now it seems that Curtis is running a test on them at some point, and here we see Argus members getting their ass kicked. So you would have to think, what kind of test is, you know, Curtis conducting here? Especially one where they kind of rebel in Argus, and maybe Curtis loses control of the experiment or whatever is going on. Either way, judging from the synopsis of Past Sins, where it states that the past comes back to haunt both Oliver and Laurel, it goes on to say Curtis is upset when he discovers that Diggle and Lila have restarted the Ghost Initiative with Diaz, China White, Kane Wolfman, and Carrie Cutter. So it looks like, even though this isn't the Suicide Squad of the Arrowverse for obvious reasons, as I've kind of mentioned, it looks like Diaz is going to be actually, you know, operating or potentially leading that group. So that explains, you know, from the current synopsis, you know, what Argus going on about with what Lila and Diggle have done with Diaz. It looks like they may have got him out of that cell and he's leading this new team. So that's kind of cool to see. But let's hope it tackles the whole Argus mystery situation with a lot of relevancy, if that makes sense. Maybe they've been formed by Diggle and Lila to really sort out the rot within Argus that, you know, seems to be going on with this corruption or whatever. I mean, even though Curtis is upset, we see Diggle say, like, we're fighting evil most people don't even know exists. So I guess, you know, Diggle and Lila really believe, even though they're probably keeping this secret from Oliver and Felicity as well, because, you know, no surprise, Felicity would be very triggered, and Oliver probably, even though more understanding, if they found out Diggle and Lila were working with the, you know, the people they just worked the whole of last season, well, mostly this season, to put away. But I love it when Oliver says, you know, I'm no longer, you know, operating in shadows, but that does mean we still don't have the Green Arrow mask, and I know that's because he, you know, he's public Green Arrow now, but I'm gonna miss that mask, which is, you know, quite the iconic Green Arrow look. But, you know, this is one of the things I don't like so much about the public Green Arrow. I know this is nitpicky because it's just, you know, the Green Arrow design here, but I prefer it when his hood is up, the mask is on, not with just Stephen Amell's face like popping around everywhere. Not that there's anything wrong with Stephen Amell, but you get my point. I'm used to it being one way, like cool vigilante stuff. But now, yeah, you get the point. We see an interesting fight here with Laurel, Earth 2 Laurel and Black Siren against this suited bloke. I have no idea if she's using, I mean, this is hard to figure out, but knowing Laurel, I know she's on a redemptive arc, but maybe she disagrees with whatever this other person in the suit is saying. She did try and resort to going quite far before in terms of freeing Oliver, if you remember, and I think Dinah stopped her from doing that, but maybe this is a similar situation. She's trying to, you know, kind of beat this guy up into her way of thinking. We're gonna have to wait and see there. But other interesting stuff is here we see Emiko Queen, the Copycat Green Arrow, talking to Wild Dog. Now we know Wild Dog and Emiko kind of had this trusting relationship in the show. Out of anyone on Team Arrow, she's the only one, he's the only one, sorry, that she will talk to. And she doesn't seem happy. She's like, what the hell are you doing? And I think this isn't like a meet-up kind of thing. I think this is a result of Wild Dog having stopped maybe her from killing someone or something like that. Can't wait for this drama to become a bit more public, not just with Wild Dog, but with Oliver, man. That is what we were waiting for. What will Oliver's reaction be to having another sister? That's something that his father has hid from him and Thea and the family for all of their lives. I can't wait for that kind of stuff to unfold. I do have to admit, I was a bit desensitized from that whole mid-season reveal because of this title being leaked beforehand. I already knew about it, but I'm now starting to get a bit more ramped up for the Emiko Queen storyline. Now, is it just me or does this seem familiar? I swear we've seen stuff like this before. Maybe it's within the Arrowverse, maybe it's on Arrow, but it looks like some shite goes down in the SCPD. It looks like all the terminals or the laptops, the computers, the electronics are all blowing up in people's faces. We see this throughout the ending of the trailer. Looks like Oliver is saving somebody last minute there. And other clips at the end of the trailer show even more of the Ghost Initiative just causing a lot of shite in Argus. So maybe from the footage we saw with like Curtis running something with all of them strapped in a chair, we saw their brains on the actual monitor screen. Maybe they break out and they're just like going crazy and they don't want to be a part of the Ghost Initiative and they're rebelling. That will be a bit of, you know, trouble on their hands, but we're gonna have to wait and see there. But aside from that, everyone, that is the gist of the trailer. It was a cool trailer. I feel like it didn't show as much as what Flash showed, but let me know all of your thoughts on everything I discussed in this trailer, guys, and let me know if you feel like I've missed anything out or just anything you feel like definitely needs to be talked about in the comments down below. I do read all of them, guys, so definitely leave a comment. Other than that, subscribe for more Arrow videos and reviews coming next week because it is returning next week. I hope you did enjoy this video as well, so if you did like it, it really does help out. You guys are killing it in a minute with the like button, so thank you so much. If you want to follow me a little bit further, links to Instagram and everything like that and Twitter in the description down below. But thank you so much for watching Vigilantes. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.